Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. For this time, I will presentation about the Maqashid Syariah as a basis for the establishing decree in Indonesia. Of course, in Indonesia. The first, I will introduce our team about this research. The first is Mr. Evikus Diansa from Faculty of Law, Bandung Islamic University. And the second is Mr. Luslika Iskandar, same Faculty of Law, Bandung Islamic University. And the third is me, Jejen Hendar. I'm from Faculty of Law, Bandung Islamic University. Okay, about the Makosi Syariah as the basis for establishing decree in Indonesia. I think the government in the administration of the government need to the regulate and the provide police in running the government. These policies and regulations are carried out through decision issues by state administration official based on the purpose on law and regulation aimed at creating good governance. In Indonesia is a country with a Muslim majority. Of course, in the implementation of the government can be applied Islamic value like that. One of which the principle of the Maqasid Sharia, which is the basis on the purpose in Islamic law. This principle include three main things, namely, is that a law be made must be aimed to meet the need of daruriyah, tahsiniyah, and hajiyah. In studying this writing with the normative judicial research method, is used with the primarily legal material and analysis using deductive method. Okay, for this content about this our presentation, the first is introduction, and the second about administrative decision, and the third about the Maqasid Syariah principle, and the fourth about application Maqasid Syariah. So, and the five about the conclusion. Okay, the first, the introduction, the government in the carrying out state administrative, I think there's many obstacles in Indonesia implementation. One of the obstacles in the implementation in the need to provide legal protection to the community, the need for legal arrangements between state organism and the community. Government can be said to be good and running effectively when the view from a legal point of the view is when the government is given the authority to produce two legal product. I think it's namely law legislation and regulation and state administrative decision. Legislation in the written legal product whose a material of or substance has the binding power of the far or all the product of the territory of the state. Meanwhile, the decision in this case is a state administrative decision is written determination made by a state administrative official based on the provision of law and regulation is concerned individual and final. So, Islamic teach that justice is important thing in the community activities. It is the forbidden to discriminate between residents, as exemplified by the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Decision taken by the Muslim government must certainly be based on the purpose on the Quran and the Sunnah Rasul. Basically, Islam put forward the principle of the benefit, which is the what in the purpose of Islamic itself, which is often known as Maqasid Sharia. Maqasid Syariah is the purpose of the establishment of Islamic law, within include the three main things like daruriyah, like hajiyah and tahsiniyah. So, what the administrative decision? How the administrative decision? What? The concept of the state administrative decision is regulated in two law in regulation, the opportunities of which in law number 5 about the state administrative court, and the second about law number 30 about the government administrative. The two regulations given its order definition of the state administrative decision. Law number 30 about the government administrative regulation, the order administrative of government is running the government, including regulating decision and the process. The concept of state administrative decision regulated in the state administrative court law is different, as a written determination issued by a state administrative agency or official that contains state administrative law action based on the application law and regulation, which are contrary individually and final, which cause legal concept for a person or civil legality. Okay, and in the article 87 of the administrative law, which instead that is decision mean first a fight including deed of fact, and B decision of the state executive border and employee of the executive, legislative, judicial, and other state accused bodies, and the C based on law and regulation, and D the final decision is in a broader sense. E decision that many have legal repercussion, and F about decision applicable to citizen of the community. Okay, and how about the Maqasid Syariah principle? Like what? About the Maqasid Syariah and the principle, the concept of the Maqasid Syariah is often interpreted about a goal that the target of the text particular law to be realization in human life, whether in the form the command, prohibition, and mubah for individual, families, pregnant, and the people. In addition, Makosi Sharia also called wisdom with the purpose of the establishing the law, whether recommend or not, for in a very low praisable by Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala for His servant, there must be wisdom. Okay, like from the opinion for the Makosi Syariah, like from Al Ghazali state the Makosi Syariah, which is including the five maintenance must be realized using the principle of the purity. I like the five is like the Hifduddin, the first Hifduddin, and two Hifdu Anaf, and three about the Hifdu Al Aql, and the Hifdu An Nasr, and the Hifdun Al Mal, like that. Okay, how the application, the principle of Makosid Sharia in decision about the decree in the administrative state. State administrative decision, basically regulating decision made by state administrative as stipulated in the public administrative law and the state administrative court law community. In both law, the determination of the decision must be based on several term and conditional decision. When like to the Maqashid principle of Sharia must be in love, factual action, trust, concert action must be based on the principle of the expedience for the social at large and the action involving kindness and incompatible with the personal interest or provision in Islamic law. So I think the conclusion about this presentation said state administrative decision basically carry out decision and the decision related to the decision of government official and the stipula in the state administrative law and the state administrative court law. The decision is based on following the government mission and the providing legal certainty to the people. Okay, Islam in essential the law uphold and nurture good and reject evil. This is a coordinate with the purpose of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. Okay, I think like that for this presentation about the Makosi Syariah as a basis for the establishing degree in Indonesia. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.